Austin Reeves, the most consistent arrival in the NBA. Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. Allie Clifton alongside the Hall of Famer, big game James Worthy. Of course, Mike Bresnahan right here in the middle. How are we feeling?
You know, morning is really my time to shine, I think, as you all know. So I'm just really happy to be here right now.
Early game.
Early game.
With the time change.
Yeah.
I just might get in 9 holes after this round, after this game.
I didn't think about that.
Does it get light? It stays light to what?
Yeah. Dude.
I don't know when that kicks in, but.
Well, you almost snuck in 18 this morning, but it would have been cutting a little close.
I would have, but I said, you know what? I've been tardy a couple times, and I didn't want to take a chance.
No, the audience wants to see you, James.
Yeah, I didn't want to take a chance. Although, if I knew you were going to be here. I knew you and Allie could cover at least first 45 minutes.
I don't know about 11:30 in the morning.
Today I got lucky somehow because I had no idea the time changed until I got in my car and the time was not the same.
Are you serious?
I had no idea.
Yeah. Oh my God, you were the
Thank
best.
God for the automatic phone, you know.
That part.
Right.
Shout out iPhone. If you need a deal, I
made
gotcha. A look at the Lakers as we dive in by the numbers ahead of today's matchup with the Knicks. The Lakers, 38-25. They're currently 6th in the Western Conference. They've got 19 games left, 10 at home, 9 of them coming on the road. They're 4-1 in their last 5, 19-12 at home this year, but just 14-19 versus teams above 500. I actually just saw 2. They're 1-6 in their last 7 versus teams above 500. But for now, it's an early one, as we just mentioned, and we don't often get to say good morning to our good friend, buddy old pal, Mike Trudell, joining us from downtown at Crypto.com Arena. So, hello, good morning, Mike.
Good morning / good afternoon to you guys as well, and welcome to downtown Los Angeles.
No afternoon. We're still...
well, look, going into this one, we thought that LeBron would have a good chance to play just because of the way that JJ had framed it last time, but it was a game-time decision, and we actually just already got an update on that. LeBron will not play in this one. So when we hear from JJ Redick here in a moment, that is before he got the news, kind of the final update after LeBron, his training staff, the Lakers coaches, and everybody got together and decided that he won't play in this one. So just keep that in mind when you hear JJ here talking about not just LeBron, but the other injuries and the New York Knicks as well.
Maxey will be a go. LeBron will be game time.
What have you seen from the matchup going back in the tape? Obviously, Austin didn't play in New York, but the things that you did well and the things that you have to do better to beat them.
Yeah, I mean, the zone was fairly effective in that game. You know, we gave up too many corner threes, and they're great at generating them. I mean, this is a team that requires you to make multiple efforts, you know, whether that's in transition or in the half court, and they do a great job of creating second chance opportunities. And when they do that, they do a great job of then kicking out and getting dagger threes up. So, you know, we did some good things in that last game. We offensively really underperformed the expected. I mean, we didn't shoot free throws well, and one of our worst shooting games of the season, but we got good looks. You know, but I think the biggest thing for us is like we have to be able to sprint back, make some misses, set our defense, and then make multiple efforts.
Coach, with this game being so early, how does that change your team's routine, and how do you prepare for peak performance when it's maybe 7 hours earlier than you're accustomed to?
Yeah, I mean it's. I think it's the nature of this that you just got to be ready to go, and even when you lose an hour of sleep, you got to be ready to go. But we, when we have practiced, we practice at this time, so it's not like the guys have never touched a basketball at 11:30 in the morning.
All right, so there's JJ Redick, and again, after JJ got done with his press conference, we heard shortly thereafter that LeBron won't be in the starting lineup. We can probably assume that Rui Hachimura would start in his place. DeAndre Ayton is back in the starting lineup. Most likely, at least he's cleared to play and off the injury report. So we'll see, and we'll follow up with that, Allie, later in the show. But that's the big news going into this one. No LeBron for the New York Knicks.
And that is big news indeed. Mike Trudell, always on his A game. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you later in the show. So I thought arriving before 8 a.m. for a 12:30 tip as the camera saw him walking in would mean a good sign. But big game, obviously, the elbow from the other night in Denver. He sat out. Here he was arriving at the arena today. You see the time, clocking in at 7:45. Sat out versus the Pacers. Still not good to go. So
Yeah. You know, part of his coming in early is to, you know, prep for his game and get ready. This one probably to come in and get some treatment. His same, you know, routine, but also to test, you know, how the elbow felt. Does it hurt when he's shooting it? Can he, you know, have contact with another player and it feel okay? Can he play through contact? I'm sure there was a lot of, you know, tests. And if there's anything that's like aching or hurting when you're going up for a shot, it's going to affect your mental approach. So I'm not sure that was the case, but apparently he's warmed up a little bit and decided that, yeah, I can't play through contact and possibly re-injure the elbow. So that's my take on it.
Again, Brez, really quick, one thing you can never say, though, is at 42 years old in season 23, he 41. Truly never cheats the game.
Yeah.
7:45, 8:45 on the court, trying to make it for just afternoon tip.
Yeah. I completely agree, Ali. I mean, usually if you're pretty sure you're not going to play for a 12:30 tip, you get there right around now, 11:30, 11:45, get a little treatment on it, you know, whatever you have to do. The fact that he showed up at 7:45 a.m. and then went out to shoot around 8:45, so he's getting treatment, obviously. They went and tried it out. It just didn't feel right, James. And that's without us talking to him or hearing from him, so we're speculating a little bit, but that appears to be the case. So he'll get today off as well. Just another couple days of rest for LeBron in a month that's very, very stacked and packed with games. All right, they have 17 games in the month of March. There's no 3 days between games or even 2 days between games. This is it. You know, there's very little practice this month, not a lot of shoot-arounds. So I can see why he said, you know, it's just not right. There's more important games down the road. I'm going to sit this one out. And by the way, Allie, good job by our camera crew. What time did they get up to be there in position to see LeBron rolling in there at 7:45 to start his morning?
Of course, LeBron missing his second straight, as you see there. And you think of your opponent, too. One thing you must be willing to bring is physicality. Big game. They've won 9 of their last 11 away from MSG. They're playing well right now. I believe 6 of their last 8. What messes you up more about games like this? The fact that, one, you know you have to bring the physicality, but it's an early start and the time change.
Well, all of that. All of that. And, you know, the fact that LeBron is not playing, what happens is a lot of times you get down, but I think in this case with the Lakers, you go up. Rui, your mentality changes. Reeves, you know, it kind of gives you a little bit more incentive. Okay, that's just my philosophy. The Knicks, one of the best teams in the NBA since January. Defensively, not to mention that they scored 142 points against the Denver Nuggets. Defensively, they are locking people up, and they're doing it with, you know, the physical play. They kind of remind me of like the old 80s rivalries against New York and Miami, the Detroit Pistons, the way they play defense. And I don't know, Brad, you can help me out, I'm sure but I think they were, you know, at the beginning of the season or a month or so ago, they were like 18th, and they moved up to 1. Yeah. So they're serious. That Emirates championship meant a lot to them. They know what a winning championship feels like, and they want another one this year. So they're serious.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, James, because I thought this team was a little bit of an underachiever this season until about a month and a half ago. And I know they won the NBA Cup back in December. That's great. But still, the fact that they're not way ahead of the rest of the East is a little bit of a surprise to me. Now, there's 2 factors to that. Detroit has played unbelievable ball. And you also have the Boston Celtics. I know it kills you to talk about this, but it is true. Right. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they just got Tatum back too, Allie. So the Celtics, you know, holding serve and then some and getting Tatum back. So the Knicks, I think, are finally starting to turn into the team that I envisioned 4 or 5 months ago when the season began. And let's not forget, you know, obviously an outstanding point guard, an all-star point guard in Jalen Brunson, 2 very active wings in Bridges and Anunoby. You've got Cat manning the 5 for them, Allie. This team, this is a scary team. New coach, too. No longer a Tibbs team. Yeah, Mike Brown, his first year.
The Oklahoma game wasn't, you know, to your point, that was a good measure for the Knicks. And, you know, Oklahoma came in there and got there. But it was a tight game. But the numbers you see change in that direction this time of the season, it puts you on alert.
That's a great call. Their defense is really starting to come around, Allie.
It's also a great call, as you just mentioned, putting up 140-plus against the Denver Nuggets, the way they did, pouncing them.
Yeah.
Lakers have to be ready. Austin Reeves is averaging nearly 24 points per game this season, but he hasn't scored 20 in the last 8. Lakers and Knicks coming up at 12:30. Plus, Luka Magic was on full display in Friday night's win over the Pacers, dropping his 10th 40-point game of the season. We'll look back at his big night and look forward to the matchup versus his